40%. Yeah.
I'm watching you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Good. You're all right.
You know what it is.
C'est une grosse boîte, 250 employés.
C'est bon.
Okay.
I hope this uploaded video is the same as the one I have on my laptop, and if it plays back as it should, then it does offer some evidence of a few of the elements that comprise this covert takedown program, which utilizes tracking, spying and harassment technologies to wear the target down until he or she succumbs to the anticipated outcome, which many believe is death. This video is one of 3 I've added to my OneDrive account and provided links to my housing officer. The first 2 links were sent just over a week ago, and those 2 videos were recordings made inside the flat and block I reside. The first revealed proof of the character assassination, and that the tenants here are aware of this fact, and some of them letting me know this by directing insults when I'm leaving the flat or on entering the block. The second video was an altogether strange fish, where I've recorded voices in the public areas of the block as well as the hallway of the flat, and there's no obvious source for those voices. The reaction from my housing officer to the first video was that I must contact the police because there were a few threats with the insults. As the police are doing everything not to help, aside from their very helpful assertion that I believe vehicles and a pigeon are talking to me, then contacting the police ain't gonna happen. It just won't happen. The reaction to the second video was my housing officer telling me she was going to contact Southwark's safeguarding team. Southwark is one of the boroughs in London, and I live in Peckham, which is in Southwark. I responded to her email that I prefer her not to contact this safeguarding team, but she insisted that she felt obligated to. She also in that email highlighted a paragraph and asked for an explanation, which I was delighted to offer. I emailed a letter and link to the third video, the one you've just watched, which demonstrates the verbal harassment outside and some proof that I'm somehow tracked. Today, the housing officer's response to that email is to ask for my GP's name and address. A GP, by the way, is a general practitioner or medical doctor. Now, there's no mention in that email of the video, so what's she up to? Is she circumventing things of her own accord or following advice from another or others within the housing association she works? The character assassination is a fact. If people are going to do their best to hide this fact, and I'm not only talking about the police here, then good luck to them when this fact is fully and properly acknowledged, and all those hiding their knowledge of it will have to explain their reasons for hiding the truth.
But I'm just wondering if a GP is allowed to give access to any of my medical records.
Unless you give permission, so you would have to send in a correspondent either by email to say that put your details down, and you would have to write, I give permission for such and such.
Right, so the GP wouldn't give her any access?
No, not just like that, no.
That's great.
Not without your permission or authority.
Lovely, much appreciated. That's all I needed. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't have a problem allowing a person access to my medical records, as there's not much in the way of juiciness there anyway. The only thing that could be of interest is those bogus or unnecessary referrals made by the police to mental health from 2016 and continuing in 2017, when I visited the local police station to ask them to investigate the obvious character assassination, and that seemed to be the catalyst for those referrals. The one genuine referral in which I was assessed, and it's one that I fully accept and understand the need for it, was back in 2012, some 3 years into my targeting, which I believe began in 2009. I'd sent an email to Southwark's then Director of Housing about some previous neighbours turned to the lucrative dark side, and on the strength of that email I was visited by 2 cops and assessed on the same day at Norsley Hospital in Camberwell, South East London. My mental health was assessed by a number of people separately, and I was declared not a threat to myself or anyone, so was allowed to go home the same day. I learned about the targeting program maybe weeks or a few months after this, which is a bit unfortunate, because if I'd learnt about it before, then that email would never have been sent and I would have acted far more circumspect, but it wasn't to be. So I do have that on my record. But other than that, there's really not much for me to be concerned about. So as I said, I don't really have a problem with anyone wanting to access my medical records. I would just like to know why they want to access them, and to date the housing officer hasn't told me the reason.